Hey, good morning. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Today we're going to talk about making pancakes, and if we have time, we'll do a little pancake art. So we talked about mixing methods last week. Okay, I'm not going to go through measuring again because we've already done that several times. I posted the recipe on your Google Classroom if you want to follow along. So our mixing method, right? The muffin mixing method. Remember that was all the dry ingredients in one bowl, all the liquid ingredients in the other bowl, and then we're just going to mix the two together. I have my pancake griddle getting preheated at 350 degrees. Of course, you could always use pancake mix, Bisquick, whatever flavor you decide to do. But I wanted to show you how to make pancake mix from scratch, okay? So it's flour, baking powder, salt, a little bit of sugar, milk, an egg, and some melted butter. So I have my egg in this bowl. I'm going to put my melted butter in. And then to that, I'm going to add my milk. Now I want to whisk my liquid ingredients together first so that the egg gets mixed into the milk and the butter gets mixed in there. Because remember, once I add my liquid to my dry, I will start to create gluten. And we don't want a lot of gluten in this recipe because we're making pancakes. We want it to be nice and tender and fluffy. So I've got my dry ingredients in this bowl. Just give it a quick mix, right? My flour, my baking powder, my salt, my sugar. Remember, I made a well in the bottom, right in the middle. All of my liquid ingredients go into my dry ingredients. I'm going to scrape all of that butter out of there, right? Because butter is where the flavor is. And then I'm going to gently, ever so gently, mix all those ingredients together, right? This is where we don't want to overmix. So I'm just kind of bringing my dry ingredients into my liquids. You guys can see that. Okay. And it's actually okay if you have a few lumps when you're making pancake mix and or waffle mix, because that kind of shows that you haven't overmixed anything. So I got a nice consistency here. And then don't forget, as this stands for a little while, it'll also start to thicken back up. So I'm just going to scrape this down, making sure everything is nice and cohesive. So you can use a scoop or a ladle. Okay, I like to use a ladle because I like all my pancakes to be the same size so they all cook the same. So what I'm going to do is make sure I have all my tools ready. Right, I've got my spatula, I've got my ladle, I've got my mix made. My grill is preheating. You can make them whatever size you want. I just like a smaller size pancake. And I have a bunch of different toppings. I have some mini chocolate chips. Okay, I like to use the mini ones in pancakes because they don't sink to the bottom. They kind of float on top. I have some toasted coconut, just some coconut I toasted in the oven. Of course, I have some nice blueberries, some sliced bananas, okay, and a few toasted walnuts that I've kind of chopped up. One more thing about pancakes. When we're serving pancakes, we want to make sure that our butter is at room temperature, because if you put cold butter on a hot pancake, it's going to make the pancake get cold and the butter won't melt as nicely as if it's room temperature. The other thing, one more thing before we start making our pancakes I want to talk about is pancake syrup, okay? I'm sure we all buy this type of pancake syrup in the supermarket. I don't know if it's sugar-free or not. Yours at home. Ours is whatever variety or flavor that you guys buy. But if you read the label on the back, okay, it doesn't really have any maple syrup in it. It's just corn syrup with flavorings and tons of sugar. I know it's more expensive to buy pure maple syrup, but a little bit goes a long way, and this lasts a long time. And guess what? There's only one ingredient in here, organic maple syrup. And it's so much better. The flavor is better. And then heat up your syrup a little bit in the microwave. Just pop it in the microwave for like 30 seconds before you start to serve your pancakes. So again, your pancake is warm, your butter is warm, your syrup is warm, and your pancakes won't be cold when you serve them to your guests. Okay, so I'm going to give my griddle. I'm going to tilt you guys down a little bit here so you can see my hands. I'm going to give my griddle a quick little spray, just some vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever you guys use. Okay, my griddle is set at about 300 degrees. And I'm going to start ladling on my pancakes. And how do I tell when my pancake is done and when to flip it? We'll start to see an increase in bubbles, okay, on the side that is facing us. And as soon as we start to see all those little air pockets and bubbles kind of form, we know that it's time to flip our pancakes. Now, I'm going to make different flavored pancakes, but the key to making a flavored pancake is to put the flavorings in while your pancake is cooking on one side. So I have some chocolate chips, right? I'm going to drop some chocolate chips on this guy. Okay. I've got some toasted coconut. I'm going to drop some toasted coconut on this guy. Of course, blueberries, right? Blueberry pancakes are my favorite. I don't know about you. Most of you probably like chocolate chip the best. And then I have some sliced banana. Okay. Could put some banana on this guy. And you know what? Along with banana, I love our chopped walnuts. So we'll put some walnuts on this guy. Okay. And we're going to let that cook. And you could start to see I'm just starting to get a little bit of bubble formation in this guy, right? So we just want to make sure that these guys are pressed in. Just give that a little press. Give that a little press. And I have my syrup over here and my butter over here ready to go. So when my pancakes are done, all I have to do, I've already heated up my syrup, a little in the microwave, and I've got my room temperature butter. I've got my plates out. Okay, make sure you're cleaning as you're going. All right, so I've got some nice bubble formation on this guy. I'm going to try to flip him. I use my fish spatula. Remember we talked about this guy? Right underneath, and then just give it a flip. Okay, so I have some nice golden brown color on one side. You can see it start to puff up immediately. Remember, that's the chemical reaction from the baking powder, right? That chemical leavener, baking powder. Remember, it works when it comes in contact with a liquid, and then again when it comes in contact with heat. So it's that double acting baking powder. Okay, again, I have nice golden brown color, and then I'm just gonna kind of go in order. That's my coconut one, my blueberry one. You can really see this one over here. Okay, I've got a lot of those nice little holes that are popping up, those air pockets that are coming out. That's that carbon dioxide. That's the reaction from the chemical leavener. And then again, a little flip. And then my last one, I have a few bubbles here. My banana pancake. Again, I'm going to give it a little flip. Okay, and now we just want to kind of let them cook. You never want to smash down a pancake because you're ruining all of that air and texture that you just put in there. Okay, so you got to give it a minute or so on either side. They should be the same color on one side as they are on the other. You could always just give it a little peek. See what's going on over there. Let's see how this guy is. He looks pretty good. I find that the blueberry pancakes take the longest out of all of them. Just going to give it another 30 seconds. Make sure our pancake is cooked all the way through. You know, when I was a very young kid, I liked my pancakes raw. I would eat them raw, and it would drive my grandmother crazy. Now I like them more golden brown. So I think this guy is done. We're going to flip him over. Okay, boom, there you go. There's my first pancake, a nice chocolate chip pancake. My next pancake, and I'm gonna serve it whatever side the filling is in up, right? So I can hear my blueberries kind of sizzling over here. I'm gonna flip this guy over. This was my plain pancake. He can hang out. This was my banana pancake. You can see the bananas have nice caramelized color to them. Okay, so I'm gonna move this over here so you guys can see them. And I can feel that they're really nice. I think this guy has to go a little bit longer. I'm going to let him go a little bit more. These are my plain pancakes. Okay. I have my nice blueberry pancake. And then again, remember, we want to put butter on while it's warm. So just a tiny bit of butter goes in between. Okay. Just like that. I'm going to tilt you guys back up a little bit. Okay, a little bit of butter. I'm going to take that banana pancake off the fire in 1 second. I can hear it sizzling. There we go. Nice and caramelized. See that? All right. So I've got my blueberry one here. I got my banana walnut. I've got my coconut, my chocolate chip, my plain pancakes. I'm going to turn my griddle down all the way to 200 because I'm going to attempt to try to do a little pancake arc with you guys. We still have time. And then my warm syrup. Okay. Just like that. Nice. And then you could yell, pick up. And someone will come and pick up these pancakes and eat them. Trust me, they will. All right. So let's talk about pancake art. So pancake art. Now, I'll put that recipe on there as well. There's tons of pancake art recipes out there on the World Wide Web. But basically what I did with the pancake art, pancake batter, is I just use box mix, okay? It's like 3 cups of your box mix to about 2 to 2.5 cups of water. And you just want it to be a pourable consistency. And you want to make sure that it is nice and smooth so that it doesn't clog up the little bottles, okay? I got these bottles at Michael's. They're like $1 something a piece. They're pretty cheap. I've got some different colors here. You guys can see I have blue. I got a little brown, white, green. I was thinking about doing like a pumpkin and then maybe a bleeding eyeball, and we'll take it from there. So here we go. I just want to make sure my griddle got a little cool because if it's too hot, the colors will just not be vibrant. And I actually used, I had these neon food colors hanging around. They're gel. Let me show them to you guys. So they're like neon food coloring. They come in a gel pack, right? Just like that. Of course, you can buy these Wiltons at any store, any craft store, or the drop ones that you buy at the supermarket. This is a drop liquid food coloring. It's just a commercial size, not what you buy at the grocery store. But that works just as well. Okay, so when you're doing the pancake art, and hopefully this will work here. We'll see. I'm going to give it a little test in the sink. There we go. So you always want to do an outline of whatever it is that you're making. So I'm going to try to draw a pumpkin. Let's see. So let's see. My pumpkin would kind of be like that. Okay. And then I've got my pumpkin eye. My other eye. We've got his nose. I'm just going to do triangles. I don't want to run out of time with you guys. And then I've got his, try to make a few teeth here. So now that I've got my outline, I'm going to make a quick, whoa, I want to do that. I'm going to make a quick stem. Okay. That's because I shook all the color in there. I'll make a quick stem. I'm going to fill that in. And then lastly, I've got my orange. And I'm going to fill in my spaces, hopefully. I think this one could have been a little bit thinner. Hopefully it'll work. And this is something that takes time, okay? It's not something that you can rush. You have to be patient when you're doing this kind of work. You can get all your nooks and crannies filled in here. And then you could always use, I guess, like a toothpick to kind of fill in as well. I need a little bit more over here on the edge. A little bit more there. And as soon as that orange sets, hopefully, we'll have a pumpkin. Okay. I don't know if I should. I guess I should put some orange in here. Because the other side of this pancake is going to be the side that we're gonna show. I think it's been a while since I've done this. So okay, now if I wanted to do maybe a it's Halloween, right? A bleeding eye. I was thinking about a bleeding eye or a bloody eye. I'm kind of gonna do the eyeball out of blue. And then I'm going to make them a little bit bigger here. And I know it's not red, but I had this neon pink color that I thought looked really cool. I'm just gonna kind of let's try and flip our pumpkin here. Ever so gently. Boom! There we go. We got our pumpkin. And you know what I thought about with the eye? Probably should have done this. And then kind of done this. And then come back around with the white. So this way when we flip them, we can see the squiggly lines. Again, like I said, this is a very time-consuming process. You have to have patience. You have to have your grill on a super low setting so that your colors don't get too brown and your pancakes don't burn by the time you finish your design. Whatever the lowest setting, if you have one of these electric griddles at home, whatever the lowest setting you have would be great. If not, you can do it in a saute pan. I would make sure my saute pan is non-stick, and I would keep my stove oven on very, very, very low. This one is like all the way down as far as it can go. Let's flip this guy. And we're going to take this guy off. We'll put him over here. I'm going to move this. Okay. There we have our pumpkin. And then I'm going to flip over my crazy eye. And then you can see it's like a bleeding eye, right? You could do spider webs. You can do all kinds of things, You can go crazy. You can even just kind of go with all different kinds of colors. And just keep filling in the lines. Remember, the side that's down on the griddle is the side that you are going to see and serve. And just fill in all those little nooks and crannies. Okay. Maybe I put a little green in there. You can let your imagination go wild. Okay, so we have our pancakes. Remember that muffin method, uh, the chemical reaction from the baking powder, the release of the CO2. And I hope that you enjoyed this little video. I'm going to take this guy off. I'll let that cook for a second, then I'll flip it over. So, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration of some pancake art. And go make some pancakes and have some breakfast. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.